Okay, so what we're going to do is, this video is all about Kotegaeshi. What's Kotegaeshi? The basic wrist lock, okay? We're going to go into the grip, into the angles, what you should be looking to do with it. I tell the story in my class all the time. The first time I tried to do Kotegaeshi on a criminal, it didn't work. Meanwhile, in the dojo, everybody told me I had the best joint locks. So my ego was crushed. The first time I go to do it, doesn't work. So what did? I said, well, it can't be the technique, because every martial art has this technique, including European, Indian, Chinese, everything, okay? Every martial art has this joint lock, okay? So I said to myself, it's got to be the way I'm doing it. So I went into the dojo and I tried to figure it out. And then once I thought I figured it out, every other time I tried to do it on a criminal, worked fantastic, okay? So let's take a look at Kotegaeshi. So first, let's talk about the grip. Okay, so we're here. So initially, your grip will be here, where the thumb is between the last two knuckles. So the pinky and ring finger knuckles, all right? When you grip, right, let me grab this hand. When I grip, okay, the most important finger on the grip is the pinky and the ring finger. So when I come here and I grasp, these fingers have to pull in. They have to pull in tight, okay? Now, when I'm doing this, you'll see there is no space, no space. You'll see a lot of people do Kotegaeshi like this, where they have all this space going in here, okay? Works great in the dojo. In real life, the guy's just going to yank his hand out. So I know everybody loves fancy counters in martial arts. We're talking real combat. You go to do this, your grip is weak, he just yanks his hand out. Because as soon as he feels any pain, what does he do? It's like touching a hot stove. He yanks his hand away, okay? We want to have it where this grip, this finger curls in and grips in. And all the space molds around where this becomes a very powerful grip, okay? So it's hard for him to fight it. Now, the second hand. In the beginning, you can cross the thumbs. So you can cross the thumbs so it looks like that. Again, no space in here. Everything is squeezed out, all right? And we press down. Notice my arms are extended as I do it, okay? I see a lot of people in karate do this, where they push down here. But look how close I am to him. He can come up and punch me right in the face, punch me in the body, grab me, do whatever. When we do Kotegaeshi, we want to do this. So we send him going this way. And when this is done quick in that direction, he can't make an adjustment. It breaks the wrist. At the minimum, it's going to damage the wrist, whether you're pulling or tearing ligaments, okay? All right? Breaking the joint, all right? That's what we want, okay? When I learned Kotegaeshi, we were taught the guy comes in with a punch or goes to stab with the knife. We go here, and then we step back and we do this. So the problem with that is it's very slow. And I know my friends in Aikido like to do that, and that's great, okay? But in combat, this is a problem. It's too slow. It takes too long, okay? So what we want to work on Kotegaeshi is when he comes in, I want to immediately seize and go back this way. So his body's still coming towards me this way when I abruptly make him do an about face. That about face breaks the wrist. Damages the wrist, okay? Now, I've used Kotegaeshi a bunch of times in the actual fights. I don't know that I ever broke the guy's wrist. Maybe I did. I know I hurt his wrist. I know I got his attention. A lot of times, the guy just goes right down on the floor, okay? So now in jiu-jitsu, when we do this, the guy turns in and he jumps and he takes the nice fall and he slaps the mat, okay? Gary won't be doing that today, okay? Which I'm sure he's very appreciative of, okay? So in jiu-jitsu, this way we can follow through with the technique. The person jumps, slaps the mat, we get up, we do it again, okay? Only one time in all the times I did Kotegaeshi on someone did the guy fly through the air. Literally like it was in a jiu-jitsu class. Pure luck. Pure luck, okay? Most of the times I did this, the guy just crumpled to the floor. slam, hit the floor. A lot of times would hit the shoulder first, which would cause other damage, okay, and go down. Okay, so let's talk about, we've talked about the grip, importance of the pinky squeezing in, no space in the hand. It's got to be molded around. So even if I'm doing it with one hand, Gary, if he tries to fight it, right, this grip is so strong, he has a hard time, okay? Second way, this is the way I do it, right? But if you have experience, you can do it like this. So this is the grip. Then this hand just comes in to help. So it almost comes in like on a palm heel and drives through, all right? Now, if he's got a weapon, so let's say it's a weapon, gun, knife, whatever, we wound up doing this technique. When you go this way and you do this fast, there's a very good chance that weapon's going to go flying out of his hand, okay? And I mean, you can try it. I do it a little bit. Sometimes I do it where I don't let the person know I'm going to go faster. And I don't jar the wrist. I don't hurt him. But just the speed of doing that, the weapon goes flying. Okay. Now, weapon goes flying can be a good thing. Could also be a bad thing if there's more than one guy. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. So that's the angle. That's the grip. This hand, once I have this grip, the way I like to do it is this hand just comes in and helps. I don't necessarily grab here. I mean, I might, but a lot of times I just do this. Okay. Again, no space. I can't emphasize this enough. If you check yourself, many of you will realize, oh my God, I've got space there. If you have space there, it's very simple. Try to hold it with the space there and tell the guy to yank his hand out. I mean, I just put space there. If Gary decides to yank his hand out, I can't hold him. I can try as hard as I want. If he yanks out, I can't hold him. But if I close the space out, now he goes to yank out. Now it's very different. He has a much harder time, and this hand would already be here. Okay? It's not a test of strength, but I'm just showing you the importance of the grip. Okay. So now, some angle stuff. So in martial arts, I want to control the center line of the opponent. And a lot of times I want to extend from my center line. So a lot of joint locking is like that. All right. So Kotegaeshi, I come here. When I go in this direction, I'm extending from my center line. So we'll see in Aikido, Aikido has a basic that looks something like this, right? In Chen style Taiji, we have a move in the form that looks like this, okay, for my practical method friends, okay? This could 100% be this joint lock, okay? Because this is exactly what we do, right? The arm, that's the main grip, that's the leg that steps forward, and I come this way, okay? So if we back out a little bit here, you'll see. So Gary threw the punch, he grabbed me, went to push, whatever reason I do the joint lock from. When I come here, limp, when I come here, right, I'm extending out here. So this way, this leg forward. I don't want to step this way because I'm crossed up. This is not a strong position for me. So I want to step this way. All right? And again, when you do this fast, it's a problem for him. Remember, as soon as he feels that pain, he's going to try to yank out. But if you do it right, he won't be able to. That's why he hits the floor. Okay? You do it right, this punch, he's never going to have the opportunity to throw it. Okay? When this is fast, once that pain hits, his brain is screaming, ouch. As his brain is screaming, ouch, his brain's not thinking about countering you. Okay? It's literally for a second, you've thrown the brain off balance, okay? Because you've issued so much pain. And as I like to tell my students, they think the joint locks hurt in class. No, they don't, okay? So when you feel pain and you tap, you're thinking, wow, man, that really hurts. Okay, no. You do this for real on someone, it's a whole different level of pain. So I've mentioned in other videos, I'll mention it again. There were plenty of times where I did a joint lock on a criminal and the criminal immediately pooped his pants. That's the level of pain. His body just let go, pooped his pants. This didn't just happen once, this happened several times. The pain is not anything like you're experiencing in the dojo. Okay, so you need to realize that. You do this for real, the pain is at a whole different level, okay? This is why a lot of times, as soon as I put a criminal in a joint lock, he immediately gave up. Why? The criminal expects you to punch him. They expect you to maybe kick him. If you're a cop, maybe you're going to have to use your nightstick or mace him. When they feel that pain on a joint, That's like mind altering. Who else has ever done that to them? Nobody. No other criminal has done it. They feel that pain, their brain is like, oh my God, right? And they're like, okay. And they're immediately looking to go with it. So let's talk about angles. So when I'm here and I do this, all right, I'm extending from my center line out, all right? But if you look, there's a connection. So my center line goes to here, and then Gary's elbow is on his center line. So this is the connection we want. So we do this. So see how this is connected to here. This is connected to my center line, okay? So years ago, I attended an Isshinryu seminar with a very senior Isshinryu teacher, and he was teaching to do Kotegaeshi like this. Just follow along with this. Mm-hmm. He was teaching to just bend over and push this down like this, okay? And again, in the scheme of things, it kind of works, but in combat, it won't, okay? It won't. Okay, because he can fight this. If he really resists, he can fight this. I can't push him down, right? But he can't fight this. He just can't, all right? So the grip and the angle is incredibly important. So, we'll see people do it this way. This angle is okay, but Gary will tell you, he still feels okay there. It's this one to his rear corner. This is the one he really doesn't like. That's the one that makes him nervous, that he's like, man, I don't want Mike to do this one hard and fast, okay? So we don't want to just do this and push down here because, again, look where this hand is. He can come up and punch, whatever he wants to do. I want to throw him off. I want that pain to be so jarring that he's not thinking about anything. And then as he screams from the pain, I want him hitting the floor. All right. And again, once you have him, I can follow up with a front kick. I can follow up with a knee kick. No problem. And get him on the floor. Once you have him on the floor, then you can apply other techniques. And you can go simple. Stomp, whatever. Joint lock, whatever you want to do once he's on the floor. Okay. So this connection here, center line to center line, is connected. Okay. So that's what I want. And when this connection is correct, very difficult for him to fight it and resist it, okay? Kotegaeshi can be done against a punch, obviously against a weapon, all right? That grip is incredibly important, especially if it's a weapon, okay? You don't want him to get out of your grip, And again, if it's a weapon, I can tell you now, myself included, I come in with the second hand and grab it. If it's a gun, I try to point the gun where? Back at my opponent, okay? If it's a knife, I try to bring the knife across his face. Hopefully, what? If it cuts him, it's his own fault. The knife's in his hand. It's not in my hand, right? And also, if it doesn't cut him, he's probably going to move his head what? He's going to move his head back to avoid it, which helps me with the joint lock, all right? So these are all things you want to consider, all right? And you can play, right? Basic wrist grab is a great way to introduce this technique. You come up so that the palm is you. You come under here, you grip. Now you work your grip. You can walk around, show your students. Nope, you've got space in there. You got to squeeze out that space. Now here, okay, make sure the grip is good, right? And you can work from there. You can work against a punch. It doesn't matter, all right? And I'll give you a quick secret, okay? This grip, the pinky grip, squeezing with the pinky as firm as you can, as strong as you can, applies to all joint locks. So if I'm doing this technique, it's the same thing. When I squeeze this pinky in, Gary will tell you, he doesn't like it at all, okay? All I did was squeeze the pinky in, all right? So anytime I'm gripping with that pinky, all right? So for those of you that don't do swordsmanship, the most important finger in swordsmanship is the pinky. Some styles teach you don't even hold the sword with this finger. It's these three and the thumb. All right. So in your kobudo, these fingers are important. You're gripping the sai along the arm. It's the same thing. So this grip is found in martial arts. The problem is if you're doing martial arts for sport, none of this stuff you care about. You're worrying about how you look for the judge. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a technique that could save your life. All right. And again, the first time I did this technique, for real, it didn't work. Everyone thought in the dojo I trained in, I had the best joint locks. So soul crushing, ego crushing, right? What I do, I didn't blame the technique. I said it can't be that technique. We see this technique everywhere. So what I did was, I didn't ask my first instructor. Why would I ask him? He was the one that showed it to me wrong. What I did was I got a group of guys that I trained hard with in the dojo. We got together privately and we figured it out and we gave each other feedback. Oh, that really hurts. Oh, you know. So I'll finish with this story. One of my students goes to Texas to teach a jiu-jitsu seminar. So Suishido Jiu-Jitsu, one of the arts I teach. I couldn't go, so I sent him. Finishes the seminar. It was an Aikido dojo. The Aikido guys go, hey, we're going to do an Aikido class now. Would you like to work out? My student's young. He's in his 20s. He's like, sure, I'll try Aikido, right? So they go, all right, today what we're going to do is we're going to work on countering Kotegaeshi, the wrist lock. And my student goes, oh, okay. So they go to him, okay, do Kotegaeshi on us. And my student did Kotegaeshi on them the way I taught him, this way. And the Aikido guy went flying in the air and slapped the mat. And when he got up, he went like this. Okay, now that we know we can't counter your Kotegaeshi, we'll do something else. So again, in combat, we want it to be direct. We want it to work. We don't want to give the enemy time to yank his hand out, to move in on us. We want it to be where that technique is, boom, that this just goes. It breaks, it twists, it tears, okay? So, hope you like this one. I'll do a few of these in the future for some other joint locks to really get into the nuts and bolts of how to do it. I hope you'll try it and work on it, and I hope it helps you out, all right? I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.